Hello everybody, it's Mr. Manzai here and welcome back to another video. And today I am going to be doing my review on Warframe the War Within quest. So with all further ado, let's get into it. So before I give my thoughts on the story, I just want to make it clear there will not be any spoilers within this review. So feel free to continue to watch. Your mind should be at ease now. So with a brief little story synopsis, you will be going up against two evil queens, and they are basically villains that you need to take down, and you will get to learn more about the characters of the universe of Warframe and get to know your Tenno much more better. I would definitely say this story is more focused on your Tenno than your Warframe, like other quests that we've had for Warframe so far, and this time round it will take you through on learning more about your character throughout the story. I definitely think the first half of this quest has a bit of pacing issues. It is relatively slow in the first half, and then in the second half of the quest you will definitely see a much faster pace when it comes down to the story, and also it will definitely show you much more revelation about your Tenno. The story for The War Within is definitely one of the best, and I would definitely say it is up there in the top 3 in my opinion, but I do think Second Dream edges it when it comes down to story. Also, if you want a review for Second Dream, it will be linked in the description box below. I would say the voice acting as well is also very mixed for me. The villains this time round have got pretty weird voice acting, and I think it does break my immersion when I'm listening or getting into the story, but I think it's deliberately meant to be like that, for them to be very over exaggerated evil witch type villains, I suppose. But for me, I think it was okay. And then your Tenno's voice acting, like I did say in the previous review, that I think the Tenno's voice acting, or your operator I should say, is on the weak side. This time round there is improvements, but there is a bit of naffness when it comes down to the voice acting for your operator. This time round your Tenno is a much more key part of the story and definitely has much more to say, but unfortunately some of the delivery for their dialogue is very weak and there's just no soul to it. Digital Extremes has definitely improved upon that in future quests when it comes down to Warframe, but in this one it definitely shows where you need to put in a bit more emotion to the voice acting, but it definitely does improve for future quests. Now let's talk about the mission design. I do think the mission design is much better than Second Dream. The reason I say this is because the missions for War Within make sense to the story. It makes sense of why we're basically having to do a certain mission for the quest line compared to Second Dream. There are some missions where I'm just like, why am I doing this mission in particular when I could just go and do it at another place, if you get what I'm saying. So some of the missions in this make a much bigger improvement when it comes down to the story, but unfortunately there is one mission that I do not like, and I don't like these types of missions in general, and that is the Archwing mission. Yes, if you are a fan of the Archwing missions, then yes, you get some Archwing love here, but me personally, I am just not a fan of Archwings at all. But overall, it is definitely a much bigger improvement when it comes down to mission design in The War Within compared to the Second Dream. So now let's talk about the length of the quest. The quest length, guys, I managed to complete this quest in 62 minutes and 16 seconds. A lot of this I was just rushing through, like the gameplay that you're seeing. I was just burning through it as fast as possible. So just to make that clear, I managed to beat it in just over an hour. Overall, I would say this is definitely a good quest, especially it's free, and it also adds a lot of lore and story to the universe of Warframe, and I would highly recommend it despite the length. If you guys were expecting to get more of like a 6-hour quest, unfortunately you're not going to get it here, but it definitely is a quest when it comes down to story. It shines the most in. So now let's talk about the pros and cons. First of all, I want to go through the pros. I want to say the story is very well made here, and I really did like how they were fleshing out more of the backstory of the universe of Warframe. I do think The voice acting was a bit naff though, but the story was very good, and you know, it really just made it feel more attachment to your operator, aka your tenor. Also, another pro is there is a mission where you are playing as your operator in caves, and I'm not going to say what's in the caves or what you're doing, but I would definitely say there is a mission where there is a lot of tension, and I think it was so well made. And a lot of Warframe fans, you know what I'm talking about. But to the people who don't know, it is such a very good mission in this quest, and it will make your heart beat fast, and it was very good. So Digital Extremes, I really liked what you did there. It really gave me that horror survival type theme, so would definitely say that was the most distinctive mission when it came down to the full quest. And now on to the cons. Well, I would definitely say that there is some pacing issues when it comes down to the beginning of the quest. For the first half, you do kind of feel like it's moving a tad bit slow, but it does eventually speed up. And then also we have the bugs in the quest. Right. So there is one part in the quest where you are playing as your operator, and then there is a part where you're trying to do a transference in the cave, and you're basically having to burrow under the ground. There is an issue with this part of the quest because when you burrow, it doesn't actually let you move forward. Sometimes it just pops you out of the ground, and that gets hella annoying. And then there is also the part when you're trying to progress into the Kuva Fortress, where you would basically just float when you've activated that mission, and you basically cannot move unless you do some sort of emote. And then once you do the emote, you would basically fall out of the map, and then you would re-teleport onto solid ground. I do think there are a lot of bugs in the game in general, but when it's really involved in the story, I'm not sure how long the War Within quest has been out for, but I'm pretty sure it's been out for a while, and that glitch is still managed to be there 90% of the time every time I've done or replayed this quest. And then we've got the voice acting. So as I said earlier in the review, the voice acting is decent with the majority of the characters, but with the villains and your operator, sometimes with your operator it's just soulless dialogue, and then with the villains it's just over the top Disney type witch type of character where it's just ridiculous. So other than that, those are my issues when it comes down to the War Within quest. I do recommend giving this quest a try, it is very good. And for my final verdict, overall I'd say it's a very good quest. It does have its pacing issues and voice acting issues and a couple of bugs there and there. So my final verdict for this quest is a 7 out of 10. It's just under Second Dream in my opinion, because Second Dream was much more mysterious, it had a better story and didn't have any bugs. But everyone else's voice acting was very good besides your operator. So for me, I would say Second Dream is better than this quest so far, but we just have to see when it comes down to the other quests. But anyway guys, that's my opinions on the War Within quest. Do you guys agree? Do you not agree? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like. I plan on doing more reviews in the future. And also, if you are new to the channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all my latest videos. My name is Mr. Manzaya, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.